The home of the American car manufacturer, Flat Rock, Michigan, and Flat Rock Speedway for round 5 of Retro Revolution. I'm your host, Benjamin Butler.
And I'm John Ferguson, and we are finally at an outdoor arena, and we have some beautiful weather out here for these trucks to really put on a great show for our fans. And this track is going to be a lot of fun, Ben.
Yeah, John, this is what they call a J-hook course. Drivers are going to start opposite each other. They're going to meet in the middle, come charging down through the infield.
Yeah, and it's real slick on that first turn, so these drivers are going to really have to be aware of not sliding into the other lane and hitting the other monster truck as it's trying to go down our final straightaway.
And not to mention, John, the transition from asphalt to grass and dirt and mud, it's going to make a tricky time getting around that corner. Whoever can master that corner is going to be your winner tonight, John.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to also, like you said, starting on asphalt, they're going to be able to build up a lot of speed coming up into that turn. So it's going to be imperative that they find the right brake moment for them so they can get the best out of this turn.
Well, John, let's take a look at our points so far for this season.
Yeah, and sitting at the top of our leaderboard, we still have Quicksilver, followed by Green Machine and Fallen Angel, and in our top 5, pulling up the end, is Backlash and Bombshell. Our other racers behind the bottom 5, they're not too far away in points, so they're really going to have to do some making up here, but they are not out of it by any means.
Hey, John, this is the first time that we've had the same guy that was leading 2 weeks ago at the top of the points. We're going to have to see if Quicksilver can pull out an even bigger lead, or if one of these other guys can come up and just grab it from him.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is the first time, too, that there's been a chunk in the points where there's actually a bit of separation between first and second, where it's always been really tight up until this week.
Also today, we got some special action going on in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania with our correspondent, Jacob Ryan.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Jacob Ryan. I'm going to be your host today here at the first ever Gripball 4-wheel drive and off-road jamboree Winter Nationals here in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Now, if you're a monster truck fan, you know Bloomsburg is where the big boys love to throw down when it came to the past, when it came to the early days of monster truck racing, when it came to the head-to-head. You know, no excuses, helmets are on, it is war from start to finish. You never knew who was going to come out on top. Well, all of us here over at Motorsports, we're coming over, we're kind of putting our own little spin on things, and we have got 10 of the most electrifying, exciting monster trucks here to lay it down in a very unique form of competition.
Well, thank you, Jacob. That looks like it's going to be a good time. Quicksilver, Backlash, Bombshell, Violent Impact, they're all here tonight. Let's get ready to strap in for round 1. All right, John, we're going to take a look at our first round bracket.
Yeah, starting off the first round, we have Axeman taking on Bombshell, and following up them, we have Quicksilver going against Green Machine, followed by Backlash. Finally, not going against Star City Crusher, taking on Annihilator, with our final matchup, Violent Impact going against Star City Crusher. Let's get down to the track.
Here we go with our first matchup of round 1. It's going to be Axeman and Chauncey Gibbs, who missed last week, taking on the mighty Bombshell, Marky Jester.
Yeah, we missed Axeman at our event last week, so I know he's itching to get back out here and put on a show for the fans. Bombshell's been doing some solid runs for us throughout the events, really pushing it to the metal and making it deep in some of these events.
Yeah, week 2 winners sitting over in the far lane. You got Axeman up against the converter and ready to go here, just waiting on the green light. And they're off, both of them powering down to that corner.
Yeah, they're reaching the corner about the same time. Axeman's going in a little heavy. Oh, he flips the truck, and oh my gosh, Bombshell just needs to keep it slow and head to the finish line. He'll take the win from Axeman.
Well, I hope Chauncey Gibbs is okay, because that was a rough flip over on top of pavement.
Yeah, and that goes into all that speed gain on that asphalt. He did not transfer it well, and it just flipped that truck right on top of its head.
Like I said, that's not a good omen for what's to come for the rest of these guys. If Chauncey Gibbs gets down in there. Chauncey's usually pretty light on the throttle. Might have a little bit of a struggle on this one. Our next run here is going to be Quicksilver and Don Henderson, our point leader. Going to take on Green Machine and Chris Gossett.
Yeah, and Green Machine's sitting second in the standings right now, so this is going to be an important race for him to take Quicksilver out so he can gain some points on him.
Quicksilver's just been running so well the last few weeks. Really coming on strong in the points, sitting on top of the heap right now. But all of these guys, including the guy sitting across from him, are nipping at his heels, waiting for him to do something wrong.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how Quicksilver handles this track. We haven't really had a track like this yet, so it's a new setup for all these racers.
And Quicksilver hasn't anything with turns. He's pretty much struggled at, so we're going to have to see if his luck has turned around for him. And there's the green Quicksilver with the wheels up. A lot of power coming out of that truck, and they both get down into the turn pretty much at the same time.
Yeah, they're both pretty neck and neck right now. Quicksilver, oh, he flips it. Oh, no, and Green Machine's able to take the win, losing both back tires, but he is able to hold on, where Quicksilver, unfortunately, was not able to keep his truck straight.
Quicksilver has taken the hardest roll that he's had so far in his career, and we're going to have to see if he can make some sort of bounce back from that, but his night is over. And our next matchup here is going to be Annihilator and John Brozick versus Josh McClung and Backlash, last week's winner.
Yeah, Annihilator is here for his second event. He made it through a couple rounds last week, but he's hoping to put on a better show this week for us.
And Backlash, hopefully he can turn around and make some wins out of the thing, because he did not win a single event except the last one last week. And there they're off.
Yeah, and they're going down the runway. They're pretty neck and neck. Looks like Backlash has a turn first, but man, Annihilator does a great job making up time there.
Oh, but don't count that Backlash truck out. He's coming on strong. I don't think he's going to have it for him, but nope, that's going to be John Brozick taking the win. He is in a weird situation. He is upside down.
That was a soft roll right there, Ben. I wonder if they'll be able to turn it up over for him to get it back out there for next round.
Man, that was the longest rollover I think we've seen here at Retro Revolution. It took forever for that truck to go over.
It was happening in slow motion almost, Ben.
Our last matchup of round one is going to pit Bucket Seasock and Violent Impact versus Freddie Hartman in the Star City Crusher. Both of these guys put on some wild rides when they get out there. Now they're facing each other. This should be a barn burner right here.
Yeah, and Violent Impact's put in some good runs, but he's definitely not one to shy away from the highlight reel like you were saying. Star City Crusher last week won in round one, but got disqualified, so he definitely wants to show that he's here to win some races.
And both of them, there that goes the green. Both of them get down into the turn almost side by side, but we're going to go into the infield.
Yeah, and here they go. They're hitting about the... Violent Impact gets a little off course right there, but Star City Crusher's keeping it straight, and it looks like he is... Oh, this is a close one, Ben, and I don't know who won that right there, but Violent Impact, he is losing control, and he is able to keep his truck straight.
Man, the shutdown area here tonight has been full of nothing but problems for these guys. We're going to take a look at the replay on this one. Star City Crusher has this never say die attitude, and he is putting on a charge, and I think he's going to take the win. Yeah, definitely Star City Crusher is going to be the winner.
Yeah, he takes it by the nose of his truck. What a phenomenal race from both of those drivers right there, Ben.
So now we're going to switch over to the Grip Ball 4-wheel drive and off-road Jamboree Winter Nationals in Bloomsburg from our teammate Jacob Ryan. Jacob?
All right, thanks Ben and John, and here we go. Coming out first, we're going to be bringing in a very familiar face. You know, if you guys are not new to Beam Motorsports and what it is that we do here, we have quite a few household trucks here, and what better way to start off what this course is all about than the household truck that is Beam Motorsports, this big fat black Chevrolet from the shop. It's going to start off the course from the green, hit the massive stack of crush cars, airing it out. The flag is flying off of the bags, still keeping it straight over the tabletop, almost clearing, having a little bit of a weird bounce. Going into a second set of crush cars. We'll get a little cattywampus, a little bit outside of the flags there, and into what was supposed to be a roller. Is just going to kind of skywheel it out and over across the line. That was our first of 10 runs. Beam Motorsports house truck, that Chevrolet set the course with a 2269. Now coming out next is a big bad blue Ford, and this thing is nasty. Now, This thing ain't out of Missouri, so you ain't gotta worry about that. This is Stump Jumper. And if you guys know, we don't have many diesels here in B Motorsports. This one is very unique in itself. It is ran by a Detroit diesel, hence why the black smoke coming out. He is off the green. He's heading into the first set of crush cars, trying to be a little bit conserved there, so he didn't try to clear the whole thing. He's over into kind of rolling it up a little bit on top of the table stack, lined up perfectly for the second set of cars, and now he's just got to be a little bit smart here going over the final roller. Airs it out a little bit, kind of puts the nose in the air, keeps the nose in the air as he wheelies across the finish line. Stump Jumper coming in with a 20.33. He is currently our new leader. Coming out next, we have another Dodge, but this thing is running a big block Hemi under the hood. This is Steel Phantom. Now, since we are in Pennsylvania, it's only fair that we bring this truck in. For as you guys may guess, this gentleman that's operating this truck is a huge, I was almost going to say Philadelphia. I know we're in Pennsylvania. I don't want to get hurt here. But he is a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, hence why the two-tone scheme of this bad mamma jamma of a truck. We got him lined up at the line. We're just waiting for it to go green. Again, we're only 3 deep right now into our time trial competition. He's giving it all he can, giving her the beans. Again, kind of taking a similar approach as the Stump Jumper, trying to be a little bit conservative over the crush cars, but almost the same thing as the B Motorsports truck. Had a weird bounce on that tabletop, and he's going off the side of the cars. You need to be able to try and keep the trucks completely centered when going in between the flags. And unfortunately, it looks like Steel Phantom's going to stop that run with a 22.79. So far, our slowest run of this evening. Now, if you guys are familiar with our friends over there at Retro Revolution, well, this is a familiar face. This is Austin Spence's Motor City Madman. Now, he's been kind of out of the scene for a little bit over there with Retro Revolution. He wanted to kind of come over here and show these guys in Pennsylvania what is up and how we do things over there at Retro Revolution. So far, they're trying to get him lined up as perfectly as humanly possible. But if you guys know anything about this truck, he likes to have a full throttle, just foot to the floor all the way through, and just put all that big block Ford power to the ground and just air this thing out. Right now, he's on the converter. We're just waiting for the flag to drop and go green and see what he is able to do with this straight line course here. And so far he's going to try and just clear that set of cars, and he almost does it. Unfortunately, something catches there and almost knocks him off course. That's neutral, buddy. You need to find reverse. There you go. That's definitely going to hurt him there. But he's going to clear over that tabletop very nicely, actually. Almost completely clearing the second set of cars, and he's just going to almost, it kind of teases there a little bit. Aired it out over the second set of cars, but yeah, that mess up there over those first crush cars, you can tell he's going back to the pits, not very happy. So that's going to be Motor City Madman with a 24.36. That is so far our slowest time of the 4 trucks. We're coming up on our halfway point of all our trucks. Coming up next, this is Big and Nasty. This is coming to line. This is a really awesome looking black and orange Ford with a dragon on the side. So, you know, it's not just a paint scheme that's nasty on this truck. It is the way this guy performs. He is no holds barred. He is making sure he takes no prisoners whatsoever. And as you can see, he's got that big white flag flying back. He is big block Ford, and he's proud of it. So he's up there on the line. He's ready to go. Flag is dropped. He is ready to rock and roll. He's flying across those first set of cars. A little bit of a bounce, but can he keep her under control as he goes over the tabletop? Again, a little bit of a bounce. Sometimes with these courses, slow is fast. But so far, this truck has been complete as on the straight and narrow as you could possibly be. And Big and Nasty is going to go across the line with an 18.29, the first sub-20-second run so far in our time trial competition. Awesome run there from the guys over there with Big and Nasty. Now coming up next, speaking of Nasty, a lot of these trucks, you know, we talk about the artworks, we talk about the visuals on these things. We want to talk about a very stunning looking truck. I mean, this truck has got some amazing looking candy paint. It's got the chrome. It's got everything. It's got flags flying in the back, the blower sticking in the hood. I mean, what more could you want? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Western Revenge, a truck out there on the West Coast, based out of Arizona, coming out here for the first time, made the trip all the way up here, up to Bloomsburg, for the first ever Gripball 4-wheel drive and off-road Jamboree Winter Nationals. Flag is dropped. He is ready to go, and he is flying across the set of cars. Not as fast as he probably could have. He's getting a little squirrely coming up to that tabletop. Still trying to keep her straight. Keep her in the center there, bud. Oh, he locked up on the brakes, trying to stay in the fence there. Going over the roller. That's the thing about these trucks, man. They will fight you any chance they get, but still, that was a pretty good run, though. a 2135 for Western Revenge, that black and blue Chevrolet. Probably not the last we're ever going to see of that truck, but it is a pretty awesome looking truck. Speaking of other looking trucks, I've heard through the grapevine that this truck actually used to be a show truck. This used to be one of those trucks you see up there in the beginning of the jamborees, where it would be up there just parked, shined up and everything. He decided to throw some 66s underneath this big mamma jamma. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to tell you guys, this is a competition debut of Appalachian Dream, another Dodge coming out here to kind of show its stuff. We got quite a few Dodges here showing what the Hemi Camp is capable of with all this power. And we're going to see what he is capable of once they get him lined up. He's on the converter. That usually means green and ready to go. He's got thumbs up. He's ready and hauling ass. He's up in the air, down on the cars. So far, he's keeping her straight, and that is the main thing, as you guys can tell through this competition. It doesn't matter how much air you get. It doesn't matter how fast your car is or how fast your truck is. All that matters is you have all that power. You got to be able to stick it to the course. You got to keep it under control. And with that being said, Appalachian Dream finishes that run with an 18:57. So, we mentioned earlier that we had Stump Jumper is ran by Detroit Diesel. Well, this truck is very proud to be also ran by Detroit Diesel. Ladies and gentlemen, it's proud to announce this brand new piece, first ever time in competition. This is the Detroit Dollar. Also, this awesome Dodge ran by another Detroit Diesel. All gold. You can tell he spared no expense when putting this truck together. Obviously, everything is gold. Got money signs everywhere. He's got money just blowing out this thing. And he's not afraid to show it either. And he is just on the ragged edge. Oh my God, he's got a blown tire. He is up in the air. He is just cattywampus. He's got that engine in the back. He lost a tire. He is in the air. That cannot have felt good. Regardless of how fast that time, ladies and gentlemen, was, I think there's definitely something. There was a runaway diesel there we just saw on the track. Even with an 18-19, unfortunately, that's going to be a disqualification for Detroit Dollar. Well, coming up next, we have another Chevrolet or GMC. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Legend coming at you, clearing over those first set of crush cars. And so far, it's a pretty solid run. It looks like he got crossed up a little bit going into that tabletop. So far, nice and smooth run from the Legend, going over that final roller, and he's going across the line with a 17.51. And our final competitor for our time trial competition. Ladies and gentlemen, this is somebody that's helped us a long ways here with the Beam Motorsports, getting these mods and everything up and running from the very beginning. So we're happy he's able to take time out of schedule to come help us out. But this is Override, this classic 1960 Chevrolet with a big block Chevy. I mean, this thing is bow tie till I die, tooth and nail. So we're looking forward to seeing what he's capable of doing, what he's wanting to put down out here for us here in Bloomsburg for the Grip Ball 4-wheel drive and off-road Jamboree Winter Nationals. Again, this is our 10th and final competitor. This is Override. Full bore up to the first set of cars, kind of getting a little bit of bounce there, trying to keep her under control. Up and over the tabletop very smoothly. Unfortunately, not able to get all four tires exactly on that set of crush cars. Up and, oh, that couldn't have felt good. Landing on that left corner there. You can tell it tweaked the bed sides a little bit. That time is going to be, for Override, a 1931. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we just had all 10 of our vehicles come out here and put it out there on the line for you guys for our competition. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, it's just a one and done. That is not how we do things. You don't just get a one and done. Well, at least not everybody, because here's the thing. We're going to be bringing our two finalists back out here to have a final matchup to see who can actually lay down the fastest time. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back later with the broadcast here in Bloomsburg, but for now, we're going to send it back on up to Ben and John up there in Flat Rock, Michigan.
Alrighty, John, we're going to take a look at the bracket for round 2 here at Flat Rock.
We have Backlash taking on Fallen Angel, and then Bombshell going against Green Machine, and our final matchup is Annihilator taking on Star City Crusher.
Here we go with our first matchup of round 2. It's going to be Chris Sanford, Fallen Angel, taking on Josh McClung in Backlash. Had a really, really strong run in round 1. Wasn't able to get the best of Annihilator, but he comes back as the fast loser.
Yeah, Backlash is looking to really show that he can win some of these normal round races, and then they go off. They're starting off pretty strong, pretty neck and neck right now going into the turn. Looks like Fallen Angel gets a turn soon, a little bit quicker than Backlash, and he is absolutely blowing Backlash out of the water right now, and it looks like this will be an easy win for Fallen Angel.
The Backlash was a little too conservative coming around that corner, and I think that's what cost him his win.
Unfortunately for Backlash, it looks like his luck has finally ran out, and he is finally being knocked out of a normal round.
Backlash going on the trailer. All right, our second matchup of round 2 is going to pit Chris Gosler in the Green Machine and Marky Jester in Bombshell.
Yeah, the first race for Green Machine was chaotic for both sides. We had Quicksilver flipping in the final straightaway, and he lost both of his tires finishing that race because he really had to push it going up against Quicksilver. Where Bombshell also had a little bit of chaos with the Axeman rolling it. So hopefully in this race, both trucks will be able to keep it together and they'll be able to finish strong.
And there's the Green, both of them getting down into the corner pretty much at the same time, but Green Machine is well out into the lead. Green Machine's going to end up taking the win, but having a rough landing getting through there. I think, yeah, he's lost a lot of, he's having some serious problems with the back end of that truck. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it into the semifinals.
Yeah, no, that's the second time where his back tires have popped off like that. And Bombshell, he put in a good run, but it just wasn't good enough. Green Machine had basically a full truck length on him at the end.
And our last matchup of round 2 is going to pit John Brozick and the battered Annihilator and Freddie Hartman and Star City Crusher. This right here is a tale of 2 rounds right here. John Brozick took the win against Backlash in round 1, but rolled his truck. It wasn't that bad of a rollover. He was able to come back in here, didn't lose too many pieces off of his truck. Freddie Hartman just had a whale of a time trying to get rid of Violent Impact, and there's the green.
Yeah, they're coming in the corner, and Annihilator looks real good going to that corner, but he looks like he catches a little bit of jump there. It's giving Star City Crusher a little bit of a lead on him going into the final jump, and it looks like Star City Crusher is able to take it from Annihilator.
A rough ride for Freddie Hartman here at the end. Oh my God, he kept it on all 4 wheels.
Yeah, it's starting to become a trend after these final cars. They just have so much speed coming out of there that it is just a really slippery track as well with the mud to asphalt.
Alrighty, we're going to take a look at our semifinal bracket. We're going to have Annihilator coming back as the fast loser, taking on Fallen Angel, and Bombshell versus Star City Crusher. Here's the first matchup of the semifinals. It's going to be John Brozick getting a lucky pass to come back here in the semifinals. Green Machine couldn't make the call, so we're about to go with our fast loser of the round, taking on somebody who's looked really, really strong all night long, and Chris Sanford in the Fallen Angel.
Yeah, and Fallen Angel, once again, consistently making it down to deep rounds. He may not win them all, but he tends to always be there, competing against everyone.
Ford versus Chevrolet battle here in the semifinals, and there's the green. Both guys get down the track pretty smoothly. Now we're going to hit the turn.
Yeah, let's see how they handle the turn here, and it looks like Fallen Angel gets a little bit loose right there, so all Annihilator has to do is keep it straight. The Fallen Angel's pushing strong back, and it looks like he's able to correct his mistake and take the win from Annihilator.
Had a hard time getting it stopped down there again. Both of these drivers doing a great job avoiding each other and avoiding the wall down there at the end of the track. There's John giving him a congratulations, but said he'll see you another day out here on the tracks. Here we go with our last semifinal matchup and another Ford versus Chevrolet matchup. Marky Jester and Bombshell done surprisingly well here tonight, taking on Fred Hartman, the Star City Crusher.
Yeah, and usually you'd think Bombshell might struggle a little bit with these courses where the turns are a little bit slick and you really have to rely on good weight on your vehicle, where we know he's rolling a light truck with that Allison engine.
And Fred Hartman is really playing cutthroat here tonight. He is out for a win. Let's see if he'll be able to get it against the Bombshell. And there's a green. Bombshell with the wheels up over there. Fred Hartman charging down into the corner.
Yeah, it looks like Bombshell's got the edge on Fred Hartman coming out of the corner. Looks like they're going up over the hill about the same time. Oh, Bombshell goes wheels up. It has slowed him down, and it looks like Fred Hartman's able to take an easy victory here for himself.
He pushed it to the limit, and the limit was too much for him. Fred Hartman, Star City Crusher, is going to move on into the finals. Alrighty, guys, and with that, we're going to go back over to our correspondent, Jacob Ryan in Bloomsburg, for the final round.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we can only crown one winner, and it is going to be between one Ford and one Chevrolet. So coming up next to the line, we are going to have Doc Holliday and the legend come on out, and he is going to make sure he holds no prisoners. So far, over that second obstacle, he's keeping it clean, he's keeping it straight. But it all comes down to the final obstacle. So far, he kind of nosed it in that roller, kind of going off course a little bit. Doc Holliday with his final run, will it be enough to stay on top with a 16.96? Fastest time this evening for the Chevrolet Cam. Will it be enough to hold on to the number one spot? Will it be enough to go home and take all the marbles and say that the Chevrolet Cam? Because the only thing that's going to turn that is this big, bad black and orange Ford coming out swinging up and over the crush cars. Keeping all four down. Make sure you keep the shiny side up and the tire side down. He is going all for it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think he lifted up the gas more than once, but ladies and gentlemen, that was a killer fast time. And wow, what a way to finish our time trial event here in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the legend with a 16.96 time. Fastest time we see in the night, but guess what? What does it take? That blue oval to come out here and shut that bow tie up, because that is exactly what happened, because Big and Nasty comes out and he lays down at 16.31. So your winner here for the Grip All 4-Wheel Drive and Off-Road Jamboree Winter Nationals is going to be none other than the Big and Nasty machine. Man, that was some awesome head-to-head battling for the win right there. It's been an excellent event out here at the inaugural Grip All 4-Wheel Drive and Off-Road Nationals here at Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Now we're going to head on back again to Ben and John for the final round in Flat Rock, Michigan.
Incredible racing over there. Thank you for sharing all of that with us. All right, now we're back here in Flat Rock, Michigan for the final round. The monster trucks here at this incredibly difficult course. And these two drivers right here, Fred Hartman and Chris Sanford, saying good luck to each other. And we're going to see who can put down the best race possible.
Yeah, and you love seeing that, Ben. These drivers out here, they are competitors, but at the end of the day, they are all brothers and putting their blood, sweat, and tears out here to put on a great show for these fans. And this has been a crazy, tough course. On the outside looking in, it doesn't look like it would be that crazy, but we've got a lot of flips. We've got a lot of people dealing with all sorts of things at the end of this track.
Yeah, you're right about that, John. It's been a rough night for some of these competitors, but not these two. These two are sitting right here in the final round, right where you would want to be.
They're going down. It looks like Fallen Angel is getting a really good turn in. It looks like Star City Crusher goes in a little bit too hot, and he has to slow it down a little bit there.
Just a great jump for Chris Sanford, and he's going to take the win here tonight. Fallen Angel is your victor.
Yeah, it looks like he's going up over. He does a little tire touch on Star City Crusher as a good race, because Star City Crusher, he really put the pedal down there at the end and tried to get back in it, but that little hiccup was just too much for him to climb up above.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Great run by both of these gentlemen. Well, it's been a chaotic night, to say the least, John.
Absolutely, Ben. There's been a bunch of wrecks, a lot of very fast racing, and man, these trucks really got put to the test with this asphalt to mud change.
Also had some great racing out in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal event, and it was a different scale look at how we run things over here at Retro Revolution, and it was a phenomenal event put on, and it will add a lot more entertainment and different complexities to what we can do here.
Yeah, you're right about that, John. We got to talk about Fallen Angel. He finally put one in victory lane. He's been fighting for the last 4 weeks to get a victory. He's come close quite a few times. He's been very consistent, and now it's all paid off for him with a victory.
Yeah, and if you look into the more deeper analytics, he actually has the most wins on tour so far. He's consistently been up at the top, making it deep into our competition. He's just unfortunately not been able to put the checkered flag on it and win it. And
in Star City Crusher, he's been coming on strong the last couple weeks, been putting a lot of good races together. We're going to have to see if he can continue that or if Lady Luck is going to walk away from him. So, speaking of Lady Luck, what are the points looking like, John?
Yeah, so taking a look at the leaderboard, it seems like everything's gotten a lot closer since the last time we looked. Quicksilver's still holding on the top, but that early exit here at Flat Rock really allowed everyone to catch up. Fallen Angel is now holding the second place with Green Machine not far behind. And then our final two in our top five is Backlash and Bombshell. And so all these races are really starting to come together, and it's really starting to show which monster truck drivers might be the best at the top.
I'm looking at the 6th and 7th place participants right now. Star City Crusher and Violent Impact are making moves. We're just going to have to see if they can make bigger moves, put some wins on the board so they can get further up the leaderboard.
Yeah, and for Star City Crusher, he's had a couple events where he's made it really deep. He's made it to the finals twice now, and he's not been able to win one. So he's got to really bring out the clutch in him and show that he belongs here on Retro Revolution.
I think you're right about that, John. Well, speaking of that, where are we going to next?
Yeah, and we're heading down to our longest track that's sitting at 600 feet long, and it's down in Wisconsin at Milwaukee Mile Speedway.
These trucks are going to be carrying a lot of speed on that track. Drivers are going to have to be a little bit more aware of how they control their throttle when they're going over some of these obstacles at this track.
Yeah, and for the fans being there too, this is the event to be at, because if you get the right seats, those last stack of cars, these drivers are going to be going so fast, they're going to be some of the highest air we've had in our event so far, so there's going to be a lot of great photos to be taken at this event.
A lot of guys will recognize this track as soon as they see it. It's one of the classics from back in the day. Well, we're going to start packing up and start heading that way. I'm Benjamin Butler.
And I'm John Ferguson.
And we'll catch you guys next week on the next episode of Retro Revolution.